Everything one does can be described as a journey. Going to work in the morning, getting there, the time between picking ingredients and sitting down to enjoy the final meal, making a movie, coming to conclusions, life itself, all journeys. ज़्यादा अगर आर्टी और इंटेलेक्चुअल साउंड कर रही हूँ मैं इस पहले 10 सेकंड में तो वेट टिल सिनेफाइल्स रियली डिस्कवर दिस मूवी वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एंड स्टार्ट डिस्कसिंग इट. जस्ट वेट. Hey all, my name is Sucharita. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a big, bold, beautiful journey starring Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie, now in movie theaters. At first, I really liked this film. Then I really hated it. And then eventually I liked it again. This is a great roller coaster to be on because I welcome a movie that messes with my brain a little bit. So, Kogonada's A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey might trick you into believing that it is a romantic comedy, little bit quirky, involving a bit of magic realism and perhaps some time travel. If you've seen the trailers, you know what I'm talking about. In actuality, this film unfolds like an experiment where a scientist is making up the rules as they go along. David is played by Colin Farrell, who wakes up one morning, heads out of his house. The day promises to be stormy, drama. Another storm begins to brew when his broken down car leads him to the Andersonian, the car rental agency, which is run by characters played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Kevin Kline. It's very weird and bizarre because things suddenly get very eccentric. Almost like David suddenly becomes this theatre actor. He's auditioning for a studio executive and a director, operating on clear but confounding instructions. I'm telling you, wait till cinephiles discover this film. The mise-en-scène and the deadpan, quirky humor borrowed from Wes Anderson in this opening sequence is then now limited to this sequence. It does not continue. Because David, he doesn't question the absurdity. You're not questioning it either. Maybe this is just a universe where magical things happen. So, David picks up this car. And then he leaves with this old Saturn, which is the name of the car, and it has this old-timey but modern AI-sounding GPS fitted in it. His first stop is a wedding where he meets Sarah, who's played by Margot Robbie, who also has a rental car. Now, this is where the viewing experience gets a little bit laborious. It did for me. The actors, they begin to perform very cliche, heavy-handed, exaggerated dialogue like, I'm not afraid of you, I'm afraid of hurting you. Huh? Oh, you've destroyed some men, haven't you? Right away, within moments of meeting each other. Like they're deliberately trying to be in a bad film. They're almost acknowledging that there is an audience in front of them, here to watch them act. The technique is ambitious, but it is alienating. Because it begins to move farther and farther away from feeling like a lived-in romance. There's no rhythm to this absurdity that's happening right now. So, the talking GPS, then it takes David and Sarah to places that have literal doors placed at regular intervals on a road trip that is headed nowhere in particular. I'm telling you, it's very bizarre. Behind each door is a moment from their past. You go into museums, into childhood memories, into their alternate selves. Alright, so slowly now the film becomes a little less about this external romance and then begins to move towards internal reconciliation almost. Now, if I may hazard a guess, at this point, director Kogonada is inviting you to start actively drawing from the film. Are these two actors in a cheesy movie that is being made? Are these two people in a marriage / long-term relationship? Is this road trip really occurring? Are these patients in a hospital imagining everything? Is this purgatory? Because like I mentioned above, that there are no rules. The filmmaker just very happily and cheekily leaves crumbs and clues for the film to turn into any of these things or something else entirely. This is high concept storytelling, friends. And unless you're very, 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 very patient with it, this film will lose you entirely.
What do you think's behind there?
Dead bodies!
Another famous journey when one talks about filmmaking is the hero's journey. You might have heard this term popularized by writer Joseph Campbell. David, your protagonist, with whom we spend most of our time in this film, follows this hero's journey through the T. When you think about it, the film truly almost feels like it is a dramatization of the concept of hero's journey, which is complete with the all is lost moment also, providing this catastrophe, their car flips, that clears the way for transformation. Post which the tone shifts again, and regret, healing, and remorse emerge as the clearer themes, which is when the film had me back again. David and Sarah's scars are now laid bare for the viewer to feel empathy with. A parent you wish you had more time with, realizing you've spent your whole time either becoming the shadow of your parent or the parent you wish you had as a child. All of these discussions then begin to happen in this film. In its most touching and affecting final moments, Kogonada's film seems to drop armor and finally allow you to enter it without trepidation, at peace perhaps with the idiosyncratic narrative. It does take too long to get there. So I won't blame you if you don't get there with it. Loads of reviews and interviews are literally dropping daily right now on this channel. Have you seen my TIFF coverage? For what it's worth, there's so many reviews and interviews. Please watch. It's been a lot this year, hasn't it? Subscribe कर लें तो 200,000 तक पहुंच जाए हम जल्दी से. नहीं तो मैं बंद कर दूंगी channel, I promise. I'm not doing this anymore. My name is Sucharita. Thanks for stopping by.